Have you ever wondered why your dog turns into a barking machine when she's scared? In this video, we're diving deep into the world of canine communication, specifically fear barking. By the end, you'll know why your dog barks when she's scared and how to help her feel more secure. First things first, barking is a normal dog behavior. It's one of the many ways dogs express themselves. But dogs bark for many different reasons. It's not just about alerting you to potential threats. Dogs bark when they're frustrated, bored, excited, or even when they want to play. Sometimes they bark simply to join in with other dogs or because they're trying to get your attention. But here's where it gets interesting. The type of bark can tell you a lot about what your dog is feeling. A territorial bark sounds quite different from an excited bark or a fearful bark. So why do dogs bark when they're scared? The answer lies in a simple principle. Behavior that gets rewarded gets repeated. Imagine your dog seeing another dog walking past your house. If she feels scared or threatened, she might start barking frantically. And guess what? The other dog eventually walks away. In your dog's mind, her barking made the potential threat disappear. She feels relieved, and her brain rewards her with endorphins that make her feel great. So, the next time she sees another dog, what do you think she'll do? That's right, bark to make them go away. But here's the kicker. Yelling no at your dog won't solve the problem. In fact, it might make things worse. Why? Because shouting doesn't address your dog's emotional state, nor does it teach her an alternative behavior, and she might not even hear you when she's in that anxious state. What are some other reasons that could cause your dog's fear barking? It could be something as common as loud noises or unfamiliar people, or it might be more specific, like men with beards or kids on skateboards. Some dogs are even afraid of plastic bags blowing in the wind, traffic cones, statues, or other unfamiliar objects. It all depends on their early life experiences and how well socialized they are, or not. Some common fear triggers in dogs include loud noises like thunderstorms or fireworks, new people or unfamiliar dogs, the sound of the doorbell ringing or a knock at the door. It might even be something like a person walking with crutches or carrying large bags of shopping. Household objects, such as vacuum cleaners or brooms, can also cause anxiety for some dogs. But here's the million-dollar question. Why is it so important to identify these triggers? Well, it's like solving a puzzle. You can't fix the problem if you don't know what's causing it. Understanding your dog's triggers is like having a roadmap to her emotions. It helps you anticipate what might scare her and how to avoid unnecessary stress. Imagine if you could turn your dog's fear of the mail carrier into excitement for a daily treat. That's the power of understanding and addressing your dog's fear triggers. Always remember that even if your dog's fears might seem silly to you, they're very real to her. By identifying her triggers, you're taking the first step towards helping your dog feel safe and secure. So how do you stop your dog's fear barking? Let's explore some practical solutions that can help. First up, let's talk about positive reinforcement training. This is like giving your dog a paycheck for good behavior. The key is to reward your dog immediately when she does something you like. Timing is everything. You want to catch her in the act of the wanted behavior. So if she's sitting calmly at the window when that dog walks past, toss her a treat. It's really important to use high-value treats for training. We're talking cheese, sausage, or chicken, something your dog absolutely loves and thinks it's worth working for. Next, let's explore desensitization and counter-conditioning. These are fancy words for gradually exposing your dog to her fear trigger while making it a positive experience. Let's say your dog is afraid of the vacuum cleaner. Start by having the vacuum in the room while it's turned off, and give your dog treats just for being calm around it. Slowly increase the exposure over time, always pairing it with positive experiences. Once your dog is calm and relaxed around the vacuum cleaner, briefly switch it on and then straight back off again. Keep on building slowly as you make progress, but make sure you always work to your dog's timeline and aren't tempted to rush through the process. Before you know it, your dog might even start looking forward to vacuum time. Another great strategy is training an alternative behavior. This is like giving your dog a job to do instead of barking. For example, you could teach your dog to fetch a toy when she hears a scary noise. It's hard to bark when you've got a toy in your mouth. Managing your dog's environment can also make a big difference. Consider using window films or choosing quieter walking routes to reduce exposure to triggers. Play can be a really powerful tool in changing your dog's emotional state. When dogs are having fun, they're far less likely to focus on their fears. So try initiating a game when you notice your dog getting anxious. It can instantly shift her mood from fear to excitement. Distraction techniques can also be incredibly effective. Next time your dog starts barking at a trigger, try scattering some treats on the ground for her to sniff out. Did you know that sniffing actually lowers a dog's heart rate and blood pressure? It's a natural calming mechanism and is so easy to implement into your dog's daily life. Lastly, let's talk about the Look at That game. This clever technique, devised by dog trainer Leslie McDevitt, teaches your dog to look at their trigger, then back at you for a treat. Over time, your dog learns to associate the scary thing with good things happening. Think of it like turning her biggest fear into her favorite game. Understanding your dog's fear signals is also crucial in helping her overcome the anxiety that causes her to bark. But here's the thing. Sometimes these signs can be incredibly subtle. Did you know that freezing, yawning, or flicking the tongue can be signs of stress in dogs? Or that a whale eye, where you can see the whites of their eyes, often indicates fear? Common signs of fear in dogs include panting when it's not hot, pulled back ears, dilated pupils, a hunched posture, back legs planted ready to flee, a low or tucked tail, avoiding eye contact, and excessive drooling or shaking eye. Recognizing these signs early can help you intervene before your dog's fear escalates to barking. Want to know more about how to read your dog's body language? I've created a free guide with detailed photos and descriptions of dog body language signals. Click the link in the description to download it now. Now, let's talk about the power of exercise in reducing fear and anxiety. Have you ever heard of a runner's high? Well, dogs can experience it too. Regular physical exercise releases endorphins in your dog's brain, creating a natural mood boost. But don't forget about mental stimulation. It's just as important as physical exercise. Puzzle toys, scent work, or even teaching new tricks can give your dog's brain a workout. Think of it as CrossFit for your dog's mind. It tires her out and helps keep her calm. There are also a number of calming aids that can be helpful. For example, an Adaptil or Pet Remedy pheromone diffuser, a Thundershirt, or music composed especially for dogs. Here's a common question. Should you ignore a barking dog? If your dog is barking for attention, ignoring her might work in the short term. But if she's barking out of fear, ignoring her could make things worse. Fear is an emotion, not a behavior. You can't reinforce fear by comforting your dog. In fact, it might be exactly what she needs. Think of it this way. If you were scared, would you want someone you care about to ignore you or comfort you? The same principle applies to our dogs. Finally, let's tackle a more controversial topic: anti-bark collars. Have you ever wondered if these devices are the quick fix they claim to be? Let me share a personal story. Years ago, before I knew any different, I tried using citronella collars on my fearful rescue dogs, Roxy and Lewis, who were both hardcore fear barkers. Guess what? The collars didn't work. Can you think why? Because they don't address the underlying emotional state that's causing the barking. It's a bit like putting a Band-Aid on a broken bone. It might feel like you're doing something, but you're not solving the real problem. Imagine you're afraid of something, maybe spiders, snakes, heights, or tight spaces. Now picture someone spraying something unpleasant in your face. Would that make you less scared? Probably not, right? You might stop showing your fear on the outside, but inside, you'd still be just as terrified. In fact, when you're already on edge emotionally, adding another stressor like an unpleasant smell might even make you lash out. This is exactly what happens when we use anti-bark collars on our dogs. We're not addressing the root of their fear, we're just punishing them for telling us they're afraid. Imagine being scared, trying to express how you feel, and then having something nasty sprayed in your face as a result. It's a perfect storm for stress. Not only are we not solving the problem, we're potentially making it worse. Dogs can also learn when the citronella is running low and start barking again, or even adjust their bark volume to avoid triggering the collar. So what's the bottom line? Barking is communication. When your dog barks, she's trying to tell you something important. Instead of trying to silence that communication, we should be paying close attention so we can help our dogs overcome their fears. If you want to know more about how to recognize your dog's stress signals, make sure you don't miss my next video, The Hidden Signs Your Dog is Stressed. and what to do about it. And don't forget to download my free resources for dog parents, links in the description below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more practical tips on how to better understand your dog's behavior. Thanks for watching. Come see us at catanddoghouse.com dogs.